Hey, it's Marie Forleo, and you are watching Marie TV, the place to be to create a business and life you love. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I love food, and I'm also Italian. And today, I want you to meet one of my favorite chefs. I cook out of her cookbooks more than any other. But don't get me wrong, this episode is not just about food. It's about taking risks and going against the grain and doing whatever it takes to make your dreams come true. Breaking onto the culinary scene as the first vegan chef to capture the top prize on Food Network's Cupcake Wars, Chloe Coscarelli has since been turning heads, bringing mouth-watering vegan dishes to the mainstream. Chloe is the author of 2 best-selling books, Chloe's Kitchen, 125 easy, delicious recipes for making the food you love the vegan way, and Chloe's Vegan Desserts, over 100 exciting new recipes for cookies and pies, tarts and cobblers, cupcakes and cakes, and more. And now her new book, Chloe's Vegan Italian Kitchen. Chloe honed her culinary skill at the Natural Gourmet Institute in New York City and holds a plant-based nutrition degree from Cornell University. Chloe has appeared on Food Network's Cupcake Wars, The Today Show, CNN, has been featured in the New York Times, the Oprah Magazine, Rachel Ray, Martha Stewart's Whole Living, Star Magazine, and Shape. Chloe, I'm so excited to have you on Marie TV.
Yay, happy to be here.
So you, in my opinion, are one of the best vegan chefs out there. And one of the things I so admire about you is that you said your goal isn't necessarily to convert people to veganism, but just to show them that you can eat healthfully and eat whole foods, and it can be incredibly delicious. Tell us a little bit about your philosophy that way.
Well, I obviously love vegan food. I think it's delicious. So it's my goal to show people that, hey, this food is actually good and it can make you feel satisfied, and it's not something that you have to commit to 100% of the time if you're interested in it. So I like to think of it not as an all or nothing. You're either an extreme vegan or you're nothing.
Yes.
I like to think that you can eat vegan once in a while, maybe once a week, start incorporating it into your dinner table, and you can start getting used to it, and maybe you start to like it.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that non-judgmental approach because it really does invite people in to try new things and to not feel bad if they can't maintain something 100% of the time.
Right. I can't tell you how many times people say to me, oh, you're vegan. I could be vegan, but I love bacon too much, so I could never do it. I'm like, well, you can still eat bacon if you want. Like, try eating vegan a little and see how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I learned that you were the first vegan chef to win a major Food Network competition, it was Cupcake Wars, and you did that when you were all of 22, I was like, this chick is amazing. So tell me, how did you even learn about that competition, and what was that thought process like for you to go, you know, I want to throw my hat in the ring. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? How'd that whole thing go?
Mm-hmm. So I was fresh out of culinary school, and I was just browsing Twitter, and I saw a casting call for Cupcake Wars, and so I was like, oh, I'll go try out. Why not? And then they cast me on the show, and I was kind of taken by surprise, so I actually called the producers back, and I was like, I just want to remind you that my cupcakes were vegan. Did you catch that? Is that still okay? Can I still come on the show? And they were like, yeah, it's totally fine. Come on down. So it was definitely surprising for me, but it kind of all just happened, it all worked out.
Now, did you have in your mind when you thought, you know, you saw that casting call, did you think, oh my God, this is my chance to get my brand out there? Or was it more about the actual challenge of being in a cooking competition? Because those things can be really intense. I love watching those shows. So I know it's reality TV, so they increase the drama factor a bit. But what was that inner drive for you about wanting to go for this?
Yeah, I like I said, I graduated culinary school, and I really didn't know what I was doing at all. I felt like I had zero direction. When I graduated college, I decided to go to culinary school because I wasn't really sure what else I wanted to do, but I knew I liked to cook.
Yeah.
And then when I was in culinary school, I was like, okay, well, if anything, I'll learn how to cook, but I didn't really have any strong ambitions for afterwards. So I was just looking for ways to get my food out there. I knew what I loved, but I didn't know what I could do with it. So it was a journey to get to this place, but I think that Cupcake Wars is a great opportunity because I was like, if I can show people that vegan cupcakes taste better than regular stuff. It's always about, oh, does it taste as good as the real thing? But I'm like, no, this is my chance to show people that it can actually taste better. So it's really exciting.
That's awesome. When I was watching the bit where you won Cupcake Wars, it was so fascinating to me because I feel like you can learn a lot about how people behave in situations, especially when they're under pressure. And I was so impressed that you kept your composure, and that the person that I've known from afar through your cookbooks and your videos and online, you were still so kind and you were still so sweet, but you were very, very focused on getting things done. And then I know there was those other clips where, people, they talk a little smack, and I'm sure sometimes the producers help to make that happen because they want to, again, heighten that drama factor. Did you feel intimidated by the other chefs? Again, because there was the issue, of course, vegan was different at that time. And of course, your age, you were much younger than a lot of the other contestants. Did that feel like you were on unequal footing, or what was that experience like?
I did hear people talking behind the scenes saying like, oh, she's doing vegan cupcakes, so she'll be out in the first round. And I remember just thinking, how can you say that when you haven't even tasted it? Yeah. So, I don't know. It was good, I think, because sometimes when you hear a lot of naysayers, it makes you really reach into a place inside of you that knows you can do it. So sometimes when people are really encouraging, I'll be the one to start being like, no, I can't do it, I can do it. But then when someone else starts saying you can't do it, that's when I'm like, okay, I think I can do this, So it helped me really just stay focused and do my thing and realize I'm not going to listen to any negativity around me. I'm just going to make cupcakes.
That was awesome. And when you won, I just thought it was so brilliant. You did such a killer job.
Oh, thanks.
For your journey after that, so that was this big win. It was amazing. Have you found yourself finding other hurdles or difficult parts in continuing to build your career as a vegan chef?
Well, I think, as you know, for any entrepreneur, it's always like, what's next? So this was great, but where am I going from here? And I feel like at every point in my career, I never really know the answer to that question. So that unknown is something that's so unsettling that can creep up on me in the middle of the night. And I'm like, so I'm turning in this book. What's my next book? But it's just something you have to learn to deal with. And yeah, there's so much to learn. I think I've also learned a lot about, like, a lot of people say being an entrepreneur is the hardest part about it is that you have to have so much self-discipline because you don't have a boss standing over you. But I think for me, actually, I have the reverse problem where I'm like too much of a boss on myself sometimes. So I need to learn when to like chill out.
I have that problem.
Yeah.
I think there's many of us, especially when you love what you do.
Yeah.
And you really, really love it. It becomes an obsession. It becomes the thing that you want to do all the time.
Yeah.
I think you had an interesting experience, right, working on this book?
Yeah. When I was working on the final manuscript for my latest book, I was like, I have 300 pages to get through, and I'm on a international flight home from Italy. Let me try to finish all of this on the flight. And I was with my mom at the time, and she's like, why don't you just relax and sleep? We're on a flight. It's dark. My light thing wasn't working. I was like, I don't care that my light's not working. I'm going to get this done. And we hit a little bit of turbulence. And the next thing I knew, I blinked, and my entire 300-page manuscript went flying, like making it rain all over the cabin. And I was like, is this actually happening to me? And I just stormed up and down the aisles, like trying to reorder it and collect it. And I was so upset. And my mom was like, okay, now will you just take a nap and, forget about it? I'm like, yeah. So I think something that I learned is like, if I don't give myself breaks, then the entrepreneur gods will step in and give them to me for me. So I try to build in breaks to my daily routine.
It's important. I mean, I try and do the same thing, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And there's often times when my body has just said, you know what, you're going to get sick right now.
Right?
And you're just going to...
So that you can just stay in bed and relax.
Totally.
I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
So the reason that I became obsessed with you in the first place was I believe it was your first book, Chloe's Vegan Kitchen. Mm-hmm. And you have your avocado pesto pasta, which is one of my favorite things ever, and it's now, Josh is obsessed with it.
So glad.
So I've made it a million times, and when you and I got together a few months ago and I learned about your obsessive nature with testing your recipes, I was just so impressed. So tell me what that's about for you. Mm-hmm. Why are you so committed to having these recipes be just ideal?
So writing a cookbook is so much more than having good food. It's about allowing your food to make it to somebody else's table who lives across the country exactly as you wanted it to be. So it's all about making it accessible and easy and inviting so that people can try it and they're going to have good results. I had an experience when I was younger with my mom. We were cooking out of a book, and she let me, pick out anything you want to make. So you look at the pictures, and I'm like, okay, I want this one. And it was this chocolate cake tower that was beautiful. I was like, I want to make this. And me and my mom set out to make it, and by the time we were done, it was like the picture was this beautiful chocolate cake tower, and ours was like this pile of like broken cake crumbs. It looked like dirt, like something that you would find in the trash. And I just remember feeling so tricked by the book. I was like, this is what it's supposed to look like. We follow the directions. What happened? And so I knew I never wanted people to feel that way when they're cooking out of my book. I want them to feel a sense of accomplishment. Yeah. So I work really hard on testing the recipes, like at least 50 times each recipe, to make sure that it's perfect and that it's easy to recreate.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why your cookbook is actually the one I cook out of nearly the most, because even if I've never tried that one before, I know it's going to be a home run.
Oh.
And I think the other thing that you do so well is you make it accessible. There's not a million ingredients. And almost all the time I have everything in my pantry, or I can run out to the farm stand or run out to the grocery store and get a few of the fresh ingredients and whip it all up. Was that something that frustrated you when you were younger, like just these wild ingredients in cookbooks?
All the time. When I'm writing a cookbook, usually the first step is I'll cook all my recipes and have like a taste testing party. And I invite friends and family, and I make everything. And if there's a dish that people say, this is delicious, it's perfect, that is actually where the process begins for me. Because I'm like, okay, we know it tastes good, check. Now, how can I work with this recipe and cut out some ingredients that maybe don't need to be in there? Do I really have to steam the tempeh first? Can I cut out a step? Because I know if the recipes aren't easy to shop for, inexpensive, and easy to make, busy people are not going to have time to make them. Yeah. So that's usually a big process of trial and error, and I can test each recipe up to 50 times, just testing it once, making a change, testing it again, making another change. So it's actually a very scientific process.
That's so awesome. Thank you for doing it, because it really does pay off. And now I want to talk about your new book, which is, y'all, check this out. I was so excited. When your mom told me that this was your next book, Chloe's Vegan Italian Kitchen, I was like, how is she going to do this? How is she going to make Italian food vegan and delicious? 150 pizzas, pastas, pestos, risottos, and lots of creamy Italian classics. I've already started cooking out of it. I've done at least 3 recipes, and they're killer. What inspired you to write this book?
So with a last name like Coscarelli, I thought it was a natural fit. Yeah. I love pasta. I just love carbs in general in any form. So this was a book that was very close to my heart, and I have so many great family recipes. My dad's family has a ton of Italian heritage and culture, and it was just wonderful to be able to take some of those family heirloom recipes and be like, I'm going to veganize them, because they're original at that point. So I also think that I get a lot of people that say, oh, you can't eat Italian food because you're vegan. What do you do about the cheese? And so I really wanted to show people that actually you can eat delicious, authentic Italian food veganized.
It's awesome. So I know, which I'm so excited about. I've been dreaming about this. You've brought some things from the cookbook for us to taste today. And by the way, y'all, we have recipes from Chloe's book below, so you can try some of these at home. So ladies.
Yay.
Oh my God. Okay, so Chloe, tell us a little bit about what we are about to taste.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now this is what I couldn't wait to see. Can you see this? Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and let you talk.
Okay, we've got meatball sliders, vegan meatball sliders. So these are not like the frozen meatballs that you can buy in the grocery store that have New Vegetarian. These are handmade meatballs, and they're so easy. They're made out of mushrooms and brown rice as the base, and then just like a ton of spices and garlic and onion and flavorings, and delicious. And we've got them on a tomato sauce with a little bit of cashew mozzarella on top. So it's like no cholesterol, no animal fat, easy and healthy. And then we've got vegan raspberry tiramisu cupcakes, and these are actually my winning cupcakes from Cupcake Wars that I featured in my book.
Oh my God.
Help yourself.
This has been the thing that I've been so wanting to try. Oh, Zaki, thank you so much. So sorry guys, I know sometimes it's not fun to watch people eat, but you'll probably see our expressions when we eat the actual vegan meatball sliders. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Sorry, you guys, recipe is below. This is absolutely delicious.
Good. I'm
These
so
are
glad you like it.
perfect for a party. You could probably do these with spaghetti and meatballs as well.
Yes, you can use the meatballs. You can make like sub sandwiches. You can top it on any kind of pasta. And this is just one of like so many different ways that you can do Italian food vegan.
Okay, I'm going right for dessert. Is that terrible? Am I horrible? And you guys don't think I'm torturing my team here, because they're actually going to get to taste some right after. So this is our tiramisu.
Raspberry tiramisu cupcakes. And these can be done gluten-free as well.
Louise!
Which we have. Yeah, we've got some gluten-free ones over there.
Oh my God, this is vegan. Now I see why this is the winning cupcake.
Oh.
Chloe, this is amazing. Okay, so I'm not going to chomp in everyone's faces anymore. Anything that you want to leave us with before we wrap up today?
If there's something that you believe in and something that you want to put out into the world, even if it's a little bit different, just go do it.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for being so generous and bringing such beauty onto our show and, of course, into the world for everybody to enjoy. I really am happy that you came on.
Today is my dream come true.
Yay!
Party time.
Now, Chloe and I would love to hear from you. What's the biggest insight that you're taking away from this video today? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel and of course, share it with all of your friends. And if you want even more great resources to create a business and life that you love, plus some personal insights from me that I only talk about in email, come on over to marieforleo.com and sign up for email updates. Stay on your game and keep going for your dreams, because the world needs that special gift that only you have. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Marie TV. Yay! Look at Chloe! Chloe looking fine, mama. What? What did you say? Inappropriate.
No.
No, you're so cute. You're saying